1. In the context of adult learning principles, which approach is most effective for paraeducators to facilitate mastery of new content for adult learners? A. Providing lengthy lectures without interaction. B. Incorporating learners' prior experiences into activities. C. Using only standardized textbook exercises. Avoiding real-world applications to keep lessons focused. 2. When evaluating a paraeducator's support role in a curriculum delivery, the primary focus should be on A. How well the paraeducator follows the lead teacher's exact script. E. How effectively the paraeducator adapts methods to diverse learner needs. C. The paraeducator's ability to memorize all lesson plans. D. The amount of administrative paperwork completed. 3. Which method best supports formative evaluation in an adult learning environment? A. Final cumulative exams only. E. Random pop quizzes without feedback. C. Ongoing observation and immediate feedback. D. Limiting assessment to peer reviews. 4. A paraeducator notices a student struggling with a new concept. Which mentoring technique would best support the learner's progress? A. Providing step-by-step modeling and guided practice. B. Repeating the same instructions without variation. C. Assigning additional independent work immediately. D. Avoiding intervention to preserve self-reliance. 5. In developing curriculum for adult learners, paraeducators should prioritize A. Concepts that connect directly to learners' professional or personal goals. B. Material that is purely theoretical without application. C. Content identical to that used for younger students. D. Activities that do not require active participation. 6. Which communication strategy ensures clarity when working with diverse adult learners? A. Using technical jargon to appear knowledgeable. B. Speaking slowly, loudly, and repeating without adaptation. C. Using clear, plain language supported by visual aids. D. Giving only written instructions without discussion. 7. Under Kentucky Paraeducator guidelines, compliance with confidentiality laws primarily involves A. Discussing student performance freely with colleagues. B. Sharing identifiable information only with authorized personnel. C. Storing student data in personal devices for convenience. D. Posting student work online for community feedback. 8. When a paraeducator conducts an informal assessment, the main goal is to A. Replace the teacher's grading system. B. Gather real-time insights to adjust instructional strategies. C. Evaluate only after the unit is complete. Avoid influencing lesson plans. 9. Which scenario demonstrates alignment with adult learning theory? A. Allowing learners to set personal learning objectives. Setting all objectives without learner input. C. Ignoring learner feedback to maintain consistency. D. Limiting content to teacher-selected materials only. 10. A paraeducator is asked to mentor a new staff member. Which is the best initial step? A. Review district policies together and discuss role expectations. B. Assign complex tasks immediately to test skills. C. Encourage them to work independently without guidance. D. Avoid discussing rules to allow flexibility. 11. When collaborating with the lead teacher in curriculum development, the paraeducator's role often includes A. Suggesting differentiated activities for varied learning needs. B. Designing and approving the final district curriculum alone. C. Choosing resources without teacher consultation. D. Replacing the lead teacher's instructional plan entirely. 12. Which practice best reflects ethical communication for paraeducators? A. Using inclusive language that respects all backgrounds. B. Using humor that may offend certain groups. C. Speaking casually about students in public areas. Avoiding communication to prevent misunderstandings. 13. An effective way to evaluate a paraeducator's mentoring impact is by A. Tracking mentee progress through self-assessments and performance data. B. Asking the mentee only for verbal confirmation of learning. C. Conducting a single observation at the beginning of the mentorship. D. Avoiding formal documentation to build trust. 14. Which principle of adult learning emphasizes the importance of linking new knowledge to existing frameworks? A. Constructivism. B. Memorization theory. C. Passive reception. D. Punitive reinforcement. 15. To ensure compliance with Kentucky education regulations, paraeducators must A. Stay updated on FERPA and other relevant laws. B. Share confidential data only with parents via email. C. Maintain personal copies of student records at home. D. Post academic results in public spaces. 16. In curriculum development, the most effective way for paraeducators to address different learning styles is to A. Incorporate varied instructional methods such as visual, auditory, and kinesthetic activities. B. Use a single preferred method for efficiency. C. Limit lessons to auditory explanations only. D. Avoid adapting to individual differences. 17. When providing feedback to adult learners, paraeducators should A. Be specific, timely, and focused on behaviors or outcomes. B. Delay feedback until the final evaluation. C. Give vague general comments to avoid discomfort. D. Focus on personal traits instead of performance. 18. Which is a key advantage of formative over summative evaluation? A. It provides ongoing opportunities to adjust instruction. B. It replaces the need for final assessments. C. It eliminates the need for teacher collaboration. It is easier to administer without planning. 19. When mentoring, the best way to foster professional growth is to A. Encourage reflection and goal setting with the mentee. Provide directives without discussion. C. Avoid challenging the mentee to promote comfort. D. Focus only on immediate problem solving. 20. Which communication method is most effective when addressing sensitive issues with an adult learner? A. Use private, respectful, and supportive dialogue. B. Confront the learner in front of peers for accountability. C. Avoid discussing the issue entirely. D. Deliver feedback through public email announcements. 21. In the context of adult learning, self-directed learning means A. The learner takes initiative in diagnosing needs and identifying resources. B. The teacher provides all directions and resources without input. C. The paraeducator determines all learning goals for the student. D. Lessons are fully standardized without variation. 22. When monitoring curriculum effectiveness, paraeducators can contribute by A. Recording learner participation patterns and providing feedback to the teacher. B. Waiting for annual reports before sharing concerns. C. Only noting final test scores. D. Avoiding data collection to maintain neutrality. 23. Which strategy best ensures compliance with state instructional guidelines? A. Aligning lesson activities with Kentucky's learning standards. B. Creating lessons solely based on personal preference. C. Using outdated materials for convenience. D. Skipping required benchmarks to save time. 24. In an adult learning classroom, active participation is encouraged by A. Incorporating group problem solving and discussion. B. Assigning only silent reading tasks. C. avoiding peer interaction to maintain order. D. Providing lengthy lectures without breaks. 24. Which mentoring approach is most effective for long-term success? A. Establishing mutual trust and clear expectations early in the relationship. B. Keeping communication infrequent to promote independence. C. Setting vague goals to allow flexibility. Avoiding follow-up once initial training is complete. KPA, Kentucky Paraeducator Assessment. The Kentucky Paraeducator Assessment, KPA test, is a standardized evaluation designed to measure the knowledge, skills, and competencies of individuals serving as paraeducators in Kentucky's K-12 educational settings. The test assesses proficiency in areas essential to supporting certified teachers and enhancing student learning, including reading, writing, mathematics, instructional strategies, classroom management, and adherence to federal and state educational standards. It also evaluates understanding of adult learning principles, effective communication, curriculum support, and compliance with legal and ethical guidelines such as FERPA. The KPA ensures paraeducators meet the qualifications required under the Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, promoting high-quality educational support and fostering student success in diverse classroom environments. Here are the top 5 beneficial uses KPA, Kentucky Paraeducator Assessment Exam. 1. Qualification verification. Confirms that paraeducators meet the federal Every Student Succeeds Act, ESSA, requirements, ensuring they have the academic skills and instructional knowledge to effectively support certified teachers. 2. Professional skill assessment. Identifies strengths and areas for growth in core subjects, instructional techniques, communication, and compliance, guiding targeted professional development. 3. Standardized competency benchmark. Establishes a consistent, statewide measure of paraeducator readiness, promoting equitable educational support across all Kentucky schools. 4. Career advancement tool. Serves as a credential that enhances employability and opens opportunities for promotion within the education field. 5. Improved student outcomes. Ensures paraeducators possess the instructional and support skills needed to positively impact diverse learners' academic performance.